All right, folks, third Saturday, here we go. And I know there's a lot of news out there going on right now, a lot of ball games going on. And I know we're talking about Tony Vitello. I was not expecting this today of all days, that this news would break about the possibility of him going to San Francisco, which would be such a bad mistake on his part. Such a huge mistake. We got some other ball games going on too. We're going to check on that. Actually, let me pull those up and see what's going on with some of these other games. Get up here a little bigger. Georgia just went ahead. Let's see. Of course, we know what Diego did. Let's see. Ohio State must have just scored. That'll matter on my picks. And then Oklahoma beat the crap out of South Carolina. Let's see what else we got in here. That Vanderbilt game, God, Diego, man. And, of course, Louisville surprised everybody by beating Miami last night. It was a heck of a ball game. And then Texas A&M's whooping up on Arkansas. So, got some really good ball games going on, but we need to talk about Tony Vitello. We'll talk about Alabama and all of that. Let's talk about Tony for a minute here. This is a terrible decision on his part. And don't worry, we're going to talk about Tennessee, Alabama. But this is an awful decision on his part. First of all, he's going from college to pro, which nobody does that. And there's a reason for that. It's just not a good fit for him. He's a rah-rah guy. He's going to be dealing with all these multimillionaire prima donnas. They don't want that rah-rah stuff up there. They don't care about it. They're going to get their paycheck, and they'll care in the playoffs if you get in the playoffs. But other than that, they're just there to get their millions. Shane Beamer, wait a minute here. Are you sure his buyout's only $5 million? You mean if he leaves, he'd have to pay that? Yeah, don't worry, Frog, I will. Yeah, I'm going to break out the chain here in a minute. We're going to talk about let's talk about Tony. What a boneheaded decision. First of all, what does it tell you that this leaked? Because right now, the leak story is that San Francisco is closing in on hiring Tony Vitello. Closing in. All right, that story didn't leak from Tennessee, from Knoxville, Tennessee. It definitely didn't leak from Tony Vitello. You know who it leaked from? The San Francisco Giants. Okay, that's who. That's who. So right then and there, Tony, that tells you they don't give a crap about you. They could care less about you. They've already tried to make you look like crap in Knoxville by leaking this out. So if you decide not to leave, now everybody's like, oh, well, I thought you were going to go. That's no matter what he decides, having this leaked out like this is not good for him, especially on the third Saturday in October, because everybody's focused on the ball game and now they got to worry about your butt. So, a matter of fact, let me just tell you what I think of this getting leaked out and his decision to even consider going to the pros.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
Absolutely. It's just dumb. That's all it is. It's just really, really stupid. Extremely dumb. Now, the football game itself, of course, I'll get focused on it here in a minute. This is a big one. Down there in Tuscaloosa, we have not won down there, and I think since 2003, so that's, 20-some-odd years. It's hard to win down there. But we've got Joey football. You got a good quarterback, you always got a chance. And we're the pretty much the top offense out there. So I think we'll score. I think Alabama's going to score. Ty Simpson's got, 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's only got 1 interception, Ty Simpson. That's shocking. That's extremely good. That's some crazy numbers there. And he's played in some big ball games already. He should have some interceptions, but he's not loose with the football. So if we get any turnovers, it'll probably be fumbles. And we're going to probably need some turnovers. And we need to win the turnover game by probably 1 or 2. And the defense has got to figure out a way to get off the field. It's not going to be easy because our defensive backs, we're very injured, having lost both our cornerbacks. Colton Hood's got to play a great game. We've got to have our freshmen play a good game. It's not going to be easy, and we've struggled against the run. My understanding is their running back's probable jammer, so should be pretty interesting. Let's get into the comment section here and see what you folks are having to say here. Georgia, yeah, Georgia. I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to root for Lane Kiffin, but I don't know. That would be a pretty good win. Let's take a look at that again. See what's going on there. It's 40-35. Yeah. And who's got the ball? I don't know. So that game's tight. Let's see. Whatever. Let's see. Actually, let me one more time here. Okay, Ohio State, Wisconsin got the ball. Okay, that's an interesting. There's a 25-point spread on that one. And then Ole Miss has got a spread of 6.5. So, what's up, guys? Let's see what everybody's saying. All right, we'll do some expectations in this game. I'm going to pick Tennessee to win 31-30. I see us winning barely. 1 point. I think it's going to be a bit of a shootout. I see them scoring quite a bit, and us as well. But I got it 31-30. Let's see what you folks are. Oh yeah, don't worry. Okay. Chase has got it. 42-40. Man, you're playing on a lot of scoring. Yeah. Y'all been asking for it, and I think this is the time to break it out. We're going to need it. You know, I don't like to pull this out unless it's a big, big game. I'm going to wear the chain today. It's a monster. If we win this, we got a really good chance of getting in the playoff. If we don't, it's going to be very difficult because we've got to go undefeated from that point forward. And we need a big win, and this would be a big win. See, Ole Miss has the ball. Let's see where they've got it. 3rd and 9 at the Mississippi 26. Uh-oh. That doesn't sound too good. They'd better score. Let's see. And then that one's still the same down there. Wait a minute. 2nd and 1 at OSU 29. So Wisconsin's trying to score. And I'm sure Ohio State's probably got a lot of secondary players in there. 2024 defense. Let's see. Just punted, yeah. Slim. Yeah, we need Rocky Top to come. We need this win. We need this win, and we need Tony to come to his senses. You always get nervous playing Alabama, even when we've beaten them 2 out of the last 3 years. But that was at Neyland. It's a very different game there. So, but it's nice to know we have beaten them 2 out of we can absolutely beat them. Look, they're very beatable. Vanderbilt had them by the throat there for a little while, and Mizzou could have won that game last week if Pabula would have done anything in that final drive except throw up on the field, basically. I mean, he looked like a nervous cat during that. God, he looked nervous. People ran over by the semis. Come faster in our corners, yeah. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great game. I was pleased with I really thought Louisville would give them a good game, and they did, but I didn't expect them to win. The spread was 13.5, I think. So, no, I did not expect them to win that game, but that you could tell. They said the coach there is like 3-3 against top 10 teams. What is his name? It's slipping my tongue right now. I can't think of his name anyway. He's done a good job there at Louisville. They were good last year, and they're really good. I think they only got 1 loss, and I noticed a 7 o'clock game at Miami, and they're undefeated, number 2 in the country, and the place was half full. What is the deal with Miami not getting behind this team? I mean, what do they got to do? And look, had that stadium been full, they probably win that ball game. But it was half full, so, I mean, you really don't get the home field advantage that you should have. I mean, the weather was great. It was after work. I mean, why would that place not be full? If you did that with any SEC team that was undefeated and number 2 in the country, my God, you couldn't get a ticket there if you tried. I don't get it. I'm seeing a lot of 45-42s. Yeah, I'd love to have a kick to win at the end. That would be great. Just like we did in 2022 when we did the helicopter kick. I went 31-30. I don't think we're going to score quite as much. I think it's going to be super tight. And that's what it needs to be. It needs to be up above 30. We need to score at least 30 because they're going to score probably, gosh, at a minimum 28-30. That's at a minimum. I think they'll score right in 30. So, and they're going to score some points on us. This is not last year's defense. You know, if we had Jermod McCoy and we had Gibson over there on the other side, I think that would be a very different defense because then you wouldn't have to help the secondary so much. And you could focus on the run. You could leave them on an island. Pavia is so good. I really have a tough time not rooting for him. I really do. He's, you know, a no-star talent. I mean, nobody wanted him. Played JUCO. And then he beat Hugh Freeze's butt. Now he's beaten him, I think, 3 times in a row. And he wanted to go to Auburn. He beat him that first year. And he wanted to go to the SEC. And Hugh pretty much told him, I think, said, no, we're not interested. No interest in you at all. And look at him now. If Auburn had him, they'd be 6-0 right now easily. With that Auburn defense, which is about the top in the SEC, they'd be 6-0. Or if you had Joey Aguilar, they'd be 6-0. But he went and got a benched guy off of Oklahoma's sideline, Jackson Arnold, who does not throw the ball very well, but I guess that's not important in football. And, of course, he had Peyton Thorne for 2 years. So, crazy. Yeah, well, we got a better thrower of the ball for sure. Now, we don't have a better runner. Pavia is a great runner. God, he's quick and elusive. Of course, he's only 5'10". He's a little fella. But he's tough as shoe leather. Really tough. I thought he played a great game, a terrific game. I'm happy for Vanderbilt on some level. I mean, they're such an underdog. And, you know, believe it or not, they were favored in that game. And I picked LSU, which I don't know how much my heart was in that, but is what I just couldn't get over the fact that I was getting points with Vanderbilt. You never get points unless they're playing Little Sisters of the Poor or the Fighting Dust Mites. Yeah, Joey's fine. Joey's doing great. We got very fortunate on that deal. Let's see. No practice, no games, they're done. I can't believe that Tony's even considering leaving Tennessee. That just is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's such a Lane Kiffin move. He's a king in Knoxville. Okay, he's the mayor of Knoxville. He's the highest paid coach in college baseball at $3 million. He might get a little more at San Francisco, but you know what, Tony? You're going to pay a 14% tax rate, dummy. Okay, and it costs twice as much to live in San Francisco as it would in Nashville. I mean, it's just stupid. So you're not getting a raise. You're not. And they just spent $100 million on a stadium for you. It's crazy. And he's going to sell out every game that he's here. He goes to San Francisco. They're going to, you know, a 500 club with a bunch of guys that really don't care. They just get their paycheck, and they'll care in the playoffs. So, yeah, I got to play golf twice this last week, talking about golf. That was fun. Let's see what else y'all are saying in here. Yeah, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's going to be tough. We got to play them this later, 3 or 4 weeks from now. It's going to be tough. Yeah, we need to win this game. If we're going to win a championship, it's got to happen today, folks. We don't need to have 2 losses. We don't need to be 5-2. It'll be incredibly difficult to get in the playoffs if you're 5-2. It just gives you no room for anything. And we've still got to play Oklahoma, still got to play Vanderbilt, of all things, and we got to play Florida. We've not beaten them in the swamp in 20 years. So we've still got plenty of hurdles to deal with. Let's see what's going on in this game. Let's see. 1st and 10 at the Georgia 10. Okay, they must have punted. 2nd and 8 at the OSU. Wisconsin still got the ball. Let me see. Let me make sure this has been updated. Let's see. Yeah, I think it has been. Make sure. Let me remove that for a minute. I may update it again. It may not be totally fresh. That happens. College football games. Pop it in there. Let's see. I just want to make sure it's coming out with the actual scores correct. Sometimes I can get behind. Yeah, we got to, folks, we got to beat them. Like I said, I don't pull this out unless it's a big deal. You know that. When you see this, it's an important must win. By the way, I got Andy Stringfield's getting ready to come on here. He's going to have something to say about Tony. Let me pull him in here. All right, Andy, what do you think? What do you think about Tony?
Well, first of all, I want to know what you're wearing around your neck there.
The power chain. Now, this is what I wore to win a national title in baseball, by the way.
Well, this is the hat I wore.
Okay.
And speaking of that, it's kind of a bittersweet day, I guess, with the news that came out about Vitello potentially leaving to go to the Giants. It's not official, but everything sounds like that's going to happen. So that's unfortunate. But they could have picked a better day to release that.
Well, no. What does that tell you about San Francisco? How much they care about him? Because that's where it came from. It didn't come from Knoxville.
Well,
it didn't come from Tony. It had to come from San Francisco to say, hey, yeah, he's about to sign.
Yeah, that's true. I think it was a New York Times reporter that reported it, and he's a very credible guy. I mean, he don't just post, he put nonsense out there. But I don't know. I hate it. It's kind of putting a damper on the day leading up to the big game, third Saturday in October. But we got to snap and clear. So we got a big game coming up here in about 45 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Let me show you what I think about his decision or a possible decision.
It's so dumb.
It's so dumb, it's brilliant.
No! It's just dumb.
Yeah, it's just stupid because he's going to be the next Lane Kiffin. Who wants to be a Lane Kiffin for 10 years out there? It's nuts.
Yeah, and you can compare it to maybe Nick Saban leaving LSU to go to Miami, or Steve Spurrier leaving, and they all eventually come back. So
yeah, he'll wind up back in college ball for sure.
Yeah, probably.
He will not look that professional baseball eats people up and spits them out. He does,
and he does. He won't have the control there that he does here. I mean, he won't be able to manage players and make decisions. There's so many people above him that will be making all those. I didn't think it was when I heard the rumors the last 2 or 3 weeks. I just kind of dismissed it. So he's on top of the world here.
Yeah, it's there's a general manager there that will be picking all the players.
Yep.
And be handling all of, because that's what they do. And that's how it is in the major leagues. You don't get to go draft all the players. You can have a say, but he's going to get who he wants. That gets very clear cut in the major leagues. So makes no sense. And then he's a rah-rah guy. You're going to go in there with these 28, 29-year-old men that are making $10 million a year. Yeah. They don't want to hear that crap. They're like, look, I got my game squared away. I know what to do. I'm self-motivated. I don't need your rah-rah crap.
Yeah.
It's like an 18, 19-year-old does.
It's going to be a different world for sure for him. But I mean, I wish him the best. And he brought this program to life from the dead, literally, and won us a national championship. So, it's hard to, if this is his dream, coaching the majors, it's hard to fault him or be mad at him.
Yeah, let me have you seen anything fresh? I hadn't refreshed it in a while. I just want to check. I've not seen anything that confirmed it one way or the other, other than he's just thinking about it. I know he met with the team, by the way. He met with the team today and said, I have not made a decision. Yes. We will have a meeting if I do, but it is not true that I have signed or done anything like that, which tells me he did not expect that to get out at all. Not one bit. So.
No, and the report came out that he met with the team and told them he was leaving, but that was false. And, Volquest reached out to him and asked, have you accepted the job? And he said, I have not. But you know how these things are. And
let's take a look here at Georgia's up by 8 on Ole Miss. And
Yeah.
let's see.
I was really, really hoping Kiffin would get them.
There's only 2 minutes left. I mean, he could tie the game. He could do that.
Yeah. I tell you, there was no defense. Both offenses had just had their way, just done what they wanted all day.
Yeah. Well, you might see that tonight with Tennessee and Alabama. You might see a repeat of that because Alabama's defense is good, but it's not anything it's not like it was back under Nick Saban.
No. Tennessee's going to have – they're going to have an opportunity to hit some plays, hit some big plays. And I hope Bishop's 100% because we're going to need him. We're going to need to run the ball tonight, and we're going to need to control a little clock. I know that's not Heupel's game, but we can't afford to have our defense on the field.
Yeah, it could get tough. I'm hoping that Joey occasionally runs. He needs to run occasionally to keep them honest, because if he doesn't, they're just going to those ends are going to come down on the running back every time. He's going to have to keep that ball and go on around and swing and then, pick up 5 or 10 yards, which he'll be able to do because they're going to focus on that. They're not going to believe he's going to run because he hasn't run that much. Tonight he'll have to run some for sure. And he certainly can. I mean, look what he did in the Arkansas game at the end.
Yeah.
So we need Georgia to win. Why is that? Because Georgia's already got a loss. And then Ole Miss, I don't think their schedule's not that tough.
I guess for our strength of schedule sake, because they beat us. I get that. I just my heart and hatred for the big three. It's hard for me.
Ohio State's already
won. Tennessee does need Georgia to win.
Okay. Ohio State's already covered. They're a covering machine, man. God, they cover like crazy.
Yeah. Wisconsin, they shut them out. Yep.
Yep, shut them out. I'll be.
Vandy with the big win.
Oh, give me your estimate on the score tonight. Give me your prediction.
It's going to be. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think both offenses are going to make big plays and score a lot of points, and I think that works in Tennessee's favor. But I just don't. It's hard for me to pick against the Vols, but I just don't. I don't think we can do it down there. I think it's going to be too tough. That environment, that crowd. You don't know what kind of whistle we're going to get tonight. So I'm thinking around 38-34. But I think it's going to be close all night, and I think we're going to have a chance.
Well, if you think 38-34 and we don't come up with the W, that means we got a great chance of winning. I mean, really, because you're within one score. So
yeah.
I think we're going to pull it out. I said 31-30. I wouldn't be surprised 34-31, something like that. I think we're going to barely break. I think we're going to break this spell because I've watched Alabama all year. They're really good, but they're gettable. They are gettable with an offense like we have. I know the key is we're going to need we need to win the turnover battle by probably 2. We need to get a couple of turnovers that go our way, just like it did Arkansas and all that.
And Bama doesn't really turn the ball over. They don't turn the ball over at all.
I know that. I know he's only got 1 interception, but it's not a round ball. It can bounce funny.
Right. But our defense does a good job. One thing they do well is they make big plays. They're opportunistic. They make big plays and they get turnovers.
They're great at strip sack.
Yeah,
they're great.
I think we're going to be able to get some pressure on them.
Yeah, he might not throw an interception, but we might strip him back there when he's messing around because he's not the most fleet-footed guy. We're not dealing with Lenore Sellers back there. He's not going to run very much. That's one less thing to worry about. That's the one thing about him that doesn't scare me is him taking off too much. He could run a little bit, but it's not going to be crazy.
Yeah, and he does tend to hold on to the ball a little too long, which that could be a good thing for Tennessee.
Yeah. All right, man. I've done my 30 minutes here. I'm gonna go watch the game and get squared away. But I wanted to do a little I appreciate you coming on the pre-show, Andy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Go Big Orange.
No problem. Bring them home now. Don't let this damn Tony thing bother you. It's gonna be all right. I don't think he's gonna go. I swear I don't.
I'll worry about Tony tomorrow, but I'm thinking about the third Saturday in October right now.
I got you. All right. See you, buddy.
See you,
Bye.
man.
All right, folks. I'm going to go watch the rest of the games here and get ready for the Tennessee game. Look, folks, I broke it out. You know I don't bring this out unless it's really important. That's the Power Tee power chain. So I'll be wearing this during the game. I think it's important. Last time this has been really lucky. We got to the Elite Eight with this. We won a national title with it. So I'm pulling out the old Billy Baru. Anyway, we'll see you after. I'll have an after show also, folks. I'll do an after show. So I'll see you then. Hopefully really, really happy, not sad, but you never know. It's the great thing about being in the SEC. You're always going to have a tough ball game. And we'll see you later here in about 3 or 4 hours. Thanks for showing up.